Chat, the new set Maze of Millennia has actually introduced 2 new Dino cards that are insane. Of course, Big Dog, we are going to be updating our dinosaur deck profile to reflect that, and I'm going to be showing you some really cool things that you can be doing with those cards, as well as an amazing deck profile you can destroy the meta with. Let's jump on in. So one thing that I got to say about Dino is that it actually took me a couple of months to come up with this build, and then I sat there with chat and they showed me some other amazing things to make this deck even stronger. I have to say that if you guys are using the new Kaito Terra and the Horn Source, you will not be disappointed. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you why those are so powerful. Also, another thing just to let you know, the Lost World Dino mat is back again. Go ahead and pick up your Lost World Dino mats on TheCaliEffect.com while supplies last. And also be sure to get your Salmon Grade hoodie. Go ahead and get your merch today. Let's go ahead and jump on in the profile. So traditionally in a Dino deck, the most important cards are Soul Eating Alvaraptor and Fossil Dig. These cards have been traditionally the best Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the entire deck, and it's for good reason. It gets you into everything that you need, and Soul Eating can allow you to be able to destroy dinosaur monsters on the field to special summon, which facilitates so many combos. I think that this is still the cards that you play in your deck, but I think that the new Kaito Terra is not a card that you play at 1, it's not a card that you play at 2. I think Kaito Terra is just as important. The reason why I think Kaito Terra is so important for this deck is not only does it allow you to get polymerization, which opens up so many more combos, Kaito Terra plus Soul Eating and another dinosaur is full combo, giving you a way to consistently get out of your bad hands and summon some really powerful boards. I think as Dino players start to move on, they'll realize that Kaito Terra has more abilities than just summoning Horn Source. But moving on, another controversial take is that I play 3 copies of Baby Ceratosaurus, which is standard, but I also play 2 copies of Petit Pteranodon. This particular combo sequence will facilitate so many baby pops. It's kind of ridiculous. It justifies playing more copies of your baby monsters. We haven't yet tried out 3 copies of Petit Pteranodon. That's something that chat did suggest, and I'm excited to see how that would work, but I don't think that opening Petit Pteranodon is the move, which is the reason why I run 2. But moving on to the Big Daddy cards. Now, Ground Xeno came out in Wild Survivors, and it's going to stick in this deck because it's so important to get Xeno Meteorius to your side of the field, but also Ground Xeno plus a baby is still a standard Yu-Gi-Oh combo. The big thing about Dino is that before, it doesn't necessarily have a set line to be able to play, and it still doesn't really have a set Yu-Gi-Oh line to be able to perform a combo. But instead, it has so many intricate lines that can produce different results depending on the situation, and that's what makes this deck so powerful. I think 2 copies of Xeno Meteorius is really important nowadays, especially since I'm not playing the Frostosaurus. We're now playing 1 copy of Sabercerosaurus. The reason why I swapped from Frost to Saber is because we don't need Saber to summon a level 6 monster. Horn Source often performs that duty. But a lot of times we do need a level 4 monster to summon off of Xeno's effect, and Sabercerosaurus just so happens to be an Earth dinosaur that we can easily destroy. And then lastly, for power cards, there's 1 Miscellanea Cerosaurus. Of course, if this card was at 3, Konami knows what they're doing. It'll hands down be the best deck in the entire game. Now, for our off-theme cards that help us produce bigger combos, there's only 1 copy of Dragonic Diagram and 1 copy of True King Lethosagam. To be honest with you guys, I did wrestle with playing multiple copies of True King Lethosagam, but if you just so happen to draw this card, you're in luck because we do play an increased number of baby monsters. This card can definitely pop off. But regardless, even if it doesn't, Horn Ceres can get you into Dragonic Diagram, which does allow you to combo anyways. And since we do have instant access to field spells, only 1 copy of Lost World is necessary. From there, we did have another debate. 2 copies of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. I still personally think that this is a card that you could cut down to 1, but it actually does have so many great matchups. If you can flip Fire King monsters face down, well, Ultimate Conductor sends to the graveyard, not destroys by battle. It's good against Monadium. If you summon this card, you're pretty much clearing the whole Monadium board without activating a single effect, and it prevents them from coming back. It's just a really powerful card that you should strongly consider, but you could cut it down to 1 if you wanted to lower your bricks. Lastly, only 1 copy of Animadorn Archosaur and Double Evolution Pill. The reason why we decided to drop down to 1 is because this is an older archaic combo that doesn't necessarily facilitate what we're trying to do now. Now, don't get me wrong, Animadorn to get a double evolution pill and then get into the UCT whenever we want to is still great, but not necessary or the main point of the combo, especially since we're not playing scrap cards. There's 1 copy of Polymerization for Kaito Terra to be able to search, but also keep in mind this card can be used to summon Gigantozauler alongside of Horned Source, and also your Xenogrounds are fusion cards too. Now, the biggest point of contention was the cards, the power cards. I think the Dino Wrestler Pinkertops is a must in every Dino deck, because not only is it a great card to be able to disrupt our opponent's board, it's also a dinosaur card that's easily searchable. These cards right here is what a lot of the chat and me, we were debating about. And I got to give them a special shout out because they overwhelmingly voted that Drolling Lockbird is better than Infinite Impermanence. Allow me to give you guys my thoughts on Infinite Impermanence and Drolling Lockbird. So, Infinite Impermanence can be used as your 6th card to be able to help break your opponent's board. It dodges cards like Triple Tactics Talent. It's just overall a powerful card that you can use against decks that are not search heavy. Drolling Lockbird also has its pluses too, its benefits. It is a double evolution pill target when in the graveyard. After you use it, it can end your opponent's entire turn. And while it is weak to Triple Tactics Talent, they ain't gonna be drawing off of that card, so you really gotta pick your poison. It's very powerful into this format against some of the best decks in the game. So I can see why chat suggested Droll, and I don't think that it's a bad idea. That's why we're playing it. There's also 3 copies of Kashtira Fenrir. I had to fight them to death to play this card. This is really good because it's an Earth target as well for Lethal Sagam, and it forces our opponent to outcards. Lastly is 1 copy of Triple Tactics Thrust. Thrust can not only search Triple Tactics Talent and Dark Hole inside of this deck, but it also can search Polymerization, Double Evolution Pill, it can search Ground Xeno, and it can search Fossil Dig, making it one of the most versatile cards in the deck for being able to search engine and non-engine here. The Dark Hole is good because we play baby cards, and the Triple Tactics Talent is Triple Tactics Talent, baby. We wanted to play more going second cards like Lightning Storm, Herald of the Abyss, and stuff like that, but we felt that it wasn't as necessary as being able to get into our engine cards to help break our opponent's board. And lastly is Call by the Grave, because we hate Droll and we hate Ash Blossom ourselves. But now that I'm done with the entire deck, I'm going to show you guys the combo that we've been raving about, the reason why we play 3 copies of Kaito Terra, and why the deck is so powerful with the new support. But I actually have to show you the extra deck first. I'm going to blaze through the extra deck so I can show you this awesome combo really fast, guys. There's 1 copy of Access Code Talker, 1 Selene, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 Dark, 1 Donner, 1 Cross Sheep. The only thing that's mandatory out of here so far is the Cross Sheep. These other cards, you can play whatever you want. I decided to go with the Selene line because Dark can summon your opponent's Diabell Star, which makes Selene, which makes Sussy Code, which makes the game a lot simpler for my small dino brain. I am still playing the 1 copy of Link Kriwo, no Secure Gardena. The reason why is because this deck can easily Link summon, and we were starved for room, but you could cut this card for Asa the Earth Charmer to take your opponent's Kashtira Fenrir. There's 1 copy of Xing Ying, 1 Burrow on the Floor, 1 Gigantozauler, 1 Hornsaurus, 1 Logia, 1 Dolka, 1 Dweller, and the best card in the deck, 1 Evil Sor Lars. So that's it for the main board and the extra deck. If chat has any questions, we'll go ahead and answer them right now. I think we went into in-depth. We spent a good 3 hours after I spent a couple of months theory crafting in this deck, and I think we have a really good build right here. Thoughts on the Sinful Spoils engine for this deck? I don't think that the Sinful Spoils engine is bad, but when I built this deck, I wanted to play the least amount of bricks as possible. And while the Sinful Spoils engine could be powerful, it increases the number of bricks, increases the number of searches, and also increases the number of just situations where you're not in a great spot. Do you agree that Droll has more benefits? It's just overall better. I agree that Droll has more benefits against some of the top decks. I think, can we agree that Imperm has amazing benefits in itself? The good matchups, bad matchups. So Dino has historically been a great deck against combo decks. Anything that likes to establish a huge board like Monadium or decks in that particular area, this deck can completely crush. Its bad matchups are strategies that are back row dependent. Labyrinth, sometimes even Rescue Ace. Those become a little bit harder matchups, And I want to say that we didn't necessarily try to prepare for those, because trying to put cards to strengthen those particular matchups makes us weaker against the matchups that we're good at. And it's not like those matchups are complete blowouts. There's still opportunities for us to win. It's just a lot harder. All right, guys, now let's go ahead and jump into the combo. Holy crap, guys. Now, in a small brain player's eyes, this is going to look like a 3-card combo, right? Because it's going to require Kaito Terra, Soul Eating, and it does not matter any dinosaur monster in your hand. I'm going to use Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. We've all had hands where we have Soul Eating and then a bunch of dinosaur monsters. Now Soul Eating plus Kaito Terra and any dinosaur monster is full combo, which is really, really cool. All right, guys, allow me to explain how ridiculous this combo is and how cool this mat is. Go ahead and go to TheCaliEffect.com today. What you'll do right here is start off by normal summoning Kaito Terra and using its effect to be able to add polymerization from your deck to your hand. We'll then activate the effects of polymerization. We'll fuse Kaito Terra and our dinosaur monster. We're going to make Horned Saurus to our side of the field in either middle zone, a far right zone, or a far left zone, whichever zone it is. We're then going to use the effect of our Horned Saurus to be able to get Dragonic Diagram. And then we're going to use the effect of Horned Saurus to give us an additional normal summon for Soul Eating Oviraptor. And now Oviraptor is going to allow us to add a Baby Sarasaurus from our decks to our hand. Use Dragonic Diagram to destroy the Baby Sarasaurus and get a Lithosagum. And now the Baby Sarasaurus will activate its effect to summon another Baby Sarasaurus to your side of the field. We're then going to use the effect of Soul Eating to destroy the Baby Sarasaurus, to summon back the Baby Sarasaurus, and then Baby Sarasaurus' effect that was destroyed will allow you to be able to special summon any baby monster. We'll summon a Petit Pteranodon this time. I hope you guys are catching on here. Now, since we have 2 Earth monsters on the field, we can use True King Lithosagum to destroy them, summon out Lithosagum, and then rip 3 cards out of our opponent's extra deck. Bro, that alone, that right there, even if they do nib us right here, like you already lost, dog. Like, come on, if they somehow stop this, we're looking through your extra deck. Doesn't matter. You're taking an L here. But the effects of both Petit Pteranodon and Baby Sarasaurus will activate, allowing us to be able to special summon 2 monsters from our deck. We'll summon Xenomaterius and Miscellaneous Saris to our side of the field. Next, we'll use the Misk and the True King Lithosagum for a link summon into our cross sheet that points to our Horned Saurus. Next, we're going to use the Meteorus and the Soul Eating Oviraptor. We're not locked into anything. We'll Synchro Summon into Baron de Fleur, triggering the effect of Cross Sheep. So Cross Sheep will give us 2 effects here. It will increase the attack of all of our monsters. Then it would allow us to special summon a monster from the graveyard to the side of the field, since we do have a fusion monster and a synchro monster pointing to it. We're going to summon out Petit Pteranodon. We'll then use the effect of Misk. We'll banish it to be able to summon the Animadorned Archosaur. Then we'll destroy the Petit Pteranodon to be able to add Double Evolution Pill, triggering the effect of Petite to be able to special summon another high-level dinosaur monster, which this time around is going to be our second Xeno. Now, here's where I would use both my Horned Saurus and my Xeno into an Evilsaur Lars, and then we can use the IP and the Cross Sheep into an SP Little Knight. I think that this board is plenty strong, guys, but let's say you want to take it a step further. Well, you do have the Double Evolution Pill to banish the Kaito Terra, as well as a non-dinosaur monster like True King Lithosagum to be able to special summon Ultimate Conductor Tyranno from your deck to your side of the field here. You can then trigger the effect of your Kaito Terra to bring itself back, and then use the effect of Kaito Terra. Since it was summoned, you can add Polymerization back into your hand, which if you guys just so happen to have more cards in your hand, which we only use 2, we should have these 2 more, you would be pretty crazed. In this particular situation, we have Ultimate Conductor Tyranno to flip all of our opponent's monsters face down, Baron to negate, SP Little Knight to banish. We also have Evilsaur Lars for double disruption and 3 cards in our hand. I think that dinos are a lot better with Kaito Terra and Horned Saurus, but let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and post down below in the comment section what did you like about it. Should we do more on Twitch? Also, guys, I'll be posting up some test stands on my Patreon and on Twitch as a special thank you for helping me pay my editors.